Hello everybody, in this video I have another scrapbook process for you with the Thompson's Craft Supplies design team. This layout was actually quite a quick and simple little one. I think it's because these papers from Mintay papers, they're so beautiful and there's so much to them that you don't actually have to add a lot of things to make a beautiful layout. Now I do add a few things. I'm going to add some stencils and some splattering and that kind of thing, but you don't really, as I said, you don't really have to. So this is definitely the quickest one I've done of my design team kit for this month. So I started off just grabbing this stencil from my stash. I think this stencil was either from the range or it was from the works. It's that really thin black cheapy plastic ones, and they're not great stencils. They fall apart very quickly. I think I've only used it once before, but it was this really sort of nice big rose flourish, and I thought I could put it at an angle where it just sort of frames one side of the picture. So I used Nouveau Embellishment Mousse in Lilac Lavender, so it was like in keeping with the theme of the colour scheme of the page, but you can still very much see that there is some stenciling there. And then I wanted to add some more stenciling, so I've got another rose stencil from Tim Holtz, just like a much smaller one. And I started off, because it was a very small stencil, I just wanted to add little bits around the picture. So I've cut the picture down and just made pencil marks of where it's going to go on my page. And I thought I was going to use some of my Nouveau glitter paste for this stenciling, but then I opened it and it is completely dried out, so much so that it snapped my favourite plastic palette knife. Not impressed. So I need some more glitter paste and I need another plastic palette knife. It was quite old. Both things were quite old, so I'm not that upset, but it was just one of those, oh, for goodness sake. Anyways, I decided instead to use Nouveau Embellishment Mousse in Mother of Pearl, and in a way I'm kind of glad that I couldn't use the glitter paste because I think this is so much nicer. I think the glitter paste would have just been a bit, I don't know, I feel like a bit garish or something, but so yeah, sort of glad that I didn't use it. Not glad that I didn't use it because it was completely dried out and unusable, but anyway, did 3 bits of stenciling with that little stencil, and then I'm going to add some splatters using my Kuretake. I think these are the pearl colours. Yeah, the other ones on the screen with like the golds and silvers, those are the starry colours and these are the pearl colours. I've lost the main outer packaging for this one, so I'm just guessing here. But yeah, just activating them with lots and lots of water and then just splattering on. I think I'm using the pink and then that sort of reddishy coral colour just for a little bit of contrast. I think I add a teensy bit of the blue just because there is a little bit of blue on the layout, and then finish off with a lot of the white, which is just, you can't really see it, you just get little hints of shimmer and glitter here and there. So once those are all splattered on like so, obviously I'm going to dry them and then start sort of figuring out what I'm going to do with the rest of this layout. So for backing my photo, I decided I was just going to rip up some of these cut apart cards again from the paper pack and just sort of rip them up and layer them sort of like this. I went with 3, I think, and once I'm happy with all my ripping, I'm going to go around the edges of it with Distress Oxide in Weathered Wood. Now, while I remember to say so, at the time of recording this voiceover, the Thompson's Craft Supplies website is undergoing maintenance, so I'm not going to be able to add Thompson's links in my video in the description box just because I'm not going to be able to access them, and any of the ones that I've already got saved, like stuff that I've already linked before that I got in my design team kit, I don't know if those links are going to work once the new website is up and running, so I'm just going to link the shop itself because the URL is going to be the same, and if you click on it and it is working, you should be able to use some sort of search function to find the item. So just while I remember, that bit of information is there for you. So yes, just click on the thing and hopefully use the search function if it's up and running by the time this video is published. If it's not, then it will be soon. So yes, once all that backing was done on the photo, I'm just propping it up on some foam and then going to play with some embellishments and figure out what I want to put around the photo. I'm mostly going to use the Gentle Morning Ephemera Pack by SCRAPBOOK and do a couple of fussy cutting bits from the Mintay Dreamer paper pack, not loads and loads, just a couple of bits. I think because I put a bird from the SCRAPBOOK pack up on the top corner of the photo, I then wanted to include some other birds, but the other birds in the ephemera pack are quite big and they were too big, so instead I fussy cut a blue one and a brown one from the Dreamer paper pack, and the brown one in particular works because where I put the photo I kind of chop off the head of a little brown bird, so putting a fussy cut one on top of that kind of worked, and it also meant I didn't have to worry about fussy cutting its little feet because they were already on the paper, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was kind of happy about that. So adding the bluebird, and the two birds are hummingbirds, and then there's just like a little brown sparrowy type thing. And underneath those as well, I've got just bits and pieces of the gentle morning ephemera, the flowers and stuff. I've gone around absolutely everything with the weathered wood. Again, just so it all ties in nicely. And I just finished off here with another flower from that pack. I just cut it in half and put one at the top and one at the side there, just felt like there needed to be something extra. So I also wanted to include some of these bramble fox pieces because they came in my kit and I hadn't used them yet, so I just wanted to include just a couple on the photo, the cute little hearts. I thought they would look sweet. At first I was going to do a couple of pink, a couple of mint, and you know, kind of played around with them. In the end I decided they would look best just using the pink ones. Here what I'm doing, so I used my high tack slow drying tacky glue to put those on, and when I pushed them down, a bit of glue kind of splooged out the side, so I just used that cotton bud just to clean up the glue that had come out from underneath. Here I am adding some splatters with Distress Oxide in Wilted Violet, and then once I did that I'm adding some Nuvo drops, the stone drops in Gold Rush. And I thought, because you know, once the Nuvo drops are on, that's the end, because of the nature of Nuvo drops, those are the last things you added. But then I realised I hadn't put a title on my layout. Now usually I am of the school of scrapbooking thought that says not every layout needs a title, but I actually wanted one on this one, so I very carefully, using these little gold thickers, I think they're Maggie Holmes ones, wrote Kersney Abbey, which is the name of the place that me and my mum were at when we took this little selfie. So I've just added those very carefully, trying not to smush any Nuvo drops that I've added, and then I'm adding a few more of those stone drops just around the title, just to sort of make it all tie in and matchy. And there we go, this layout is finished. So just a short one for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said about the links, I'm just going to link the main Thompson's site. Other stuff that I've used that you can't get from there I will link, so just see what's in the description box today. It will be a surprise. Anyways, please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Chat to me down in the comments, and I'm going. Thanks again. Bye bye.